So X-Men First Class gets a sequel, and in the sequel, they have to share it with the other X-Men. Isn't that sad when a movie that's supposed to have its own sequel has to share it with another franchise? Hi, I'm Andre, I'm a black nerd with a review for you, Letter Reviews. And today I'm reviewing X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm gonna tell you the good, I'm gonna tell you the bad, I'm gonna tell you the nerdy. X-Men Days of Future Past. Some X-Men movies were good, some X-Men movies were terrible, some X-Men movies were okay. So they just said, like, let's make one X-Men movie that keeps all the good stuff we like, fixes all the stuff that was just okay, and gets rid of all the stuff that we hate. Best synopsis ever. First, the good. This movie starts with a strong action sequence. It just keeps going from there, and I always appreciate that. The action scenes are good. The conversational dialogue scenes are very good because you got great actors in this, so it never feels like it slows down at all. And this is a movie that's 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and it doesn't feel like it slows down. We start out in future New York City. The Sentinels have taken over robots that are supposed to be like, hey, we gotta kill mutants, but eventually they're like, you know what, let's just kill anybody who might be close to mutants or may have mutants in the future, or just have seen a mutant once or twice. Let's just kill everybody. They send Wolverine back in time so he can convince Professor X and Magneto, who of course are played by the First Class, and he's like, look, you bubs gotta get together and be friends so we can stop this war from happening in the future. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Magneto's are like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out for a time period. But then you know me, I'm Magneto. I'm gonna Loki some shiz up in here. The First Class and the original X-Men, they work well together. There's not too many scenes where they're blended. You're never watching one side of the X-Men cast and thinking, oh man, I really wanna go back to the other side. It was like both sides worked equally well, and having Wolverine as that centerpiece really worked out. But for a lot of people that are thinking, oh, it's another Wolverine-centered movie, it actually isn't. This is Mystique's movie. This is all about Mystique. And I guess, I don't know if it's because Jennifer Lawrence got a little bit of rise of stardom between First Class and now, but she is all front and center in this movie, and she might get a spin-off movie, and I can totally see it from watching this. I mean, they are definitely putting her up in front, which makes sense. I mean, her power is she can change to anybody. I could be Mystique right now. You're imagining me as a blue Jennifer Lawrence, aren't you? Keep doing it. Peter Dinklage, man, he is just the man. He's the guy that creates the Sentinels. Everyone's all like, I don't know about these Sentinels. Dinklage just throws down them speeches and make you like, oh man, dude, are we in Game of Thrones right now? Talk to me, brother. His character finds out about Mystique and is like, oh wow, she can shapeshift into anything. We need that DNA so we can put that into the Sentinels so that they can have the same shapeshifting powers, and he can create an army of Sentinels based on that. Wait a minute, do you know what this is? This is the exact same plot of Underdog. Seriously, in Underdog, Simon Bar Sinister, played by Peter Dinklage, tries to capture Underdog so he can use his DNA to create his own army of super dogs. In this movie, he's trying to capture Mystique so he can make his own army of Sentinels based on her power. Freaking X-Men Days of Future Past ripped off Underdog. Oh yeah, go to any other review website and every single geek will be able to tell you the continuity between this and the comic book series. Black Nerd Comedy, I'm gonna compare Days of Future Past to the Underdog movie. And that's why you come here. We get some cameos from X-Men favorites that you remember, even if you were like, whoa, that person came back? What? I thought, okay, hey, I'm gonna go along with it. Halle Berry, nice haircut. We also get some new mutants. It wouldn't be an X-Men movie without any new mutants. And we get some real cool ones. My personal favorite was Blink. She was this girl who apparently has the mutant power of the video game Portal. She could actually throw little portals out and you could jump through them. So that was really cool that she had that power. Bishop had the power of good hair and being a brother in a X-Men movie. And Warpath, he had the power of good eye makeup. But hands down, the best new mutant that was introduced in this movie, Quicksilver. We were making all those jokes about his costume and about him eating them Carl's Jr. burgers, but this dude is great. He's using his powers for personal gain. He loves his power. He's funny. He has a scene, which is what I thought one of the best scenes of the movie. It just shows how his power works. I kind of feel bad for Mr. Kick-Ass there. You know, you're gonna have some big shoes to fill on this one, man. This Quicksilver brought it. So I'm just saying, you may want to pump up your Godzilla Kick-Ass bland into a little bit of a higher register because we're gonna be comparing you with this guy. Now for the bad. Yes, there are a lot of mutants in this movie, but of course the downside of having so many mutants is that a lot of them do not get a lot of screen time. And some of them are pretty much just there to die. I'm not gonna give any spoilers away, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of mutants that just showed up just to be collateral. They decided, you know what mutants we didn't like of X-Men First Class? They're pretty much all done now. There's one scene where Michael Fassbender, Magneto, all the mutants from First Class that don't show up in this movie, he just basically has one line. He was like, remember this guy, remember this girl, remember this, they're all dead. let's move on. You know somewhere Darwin is just sitting back laughing. He's just like, yeah, you blew me up. Look who's dead now, huh? Sprout them angel wings now, huh? What's that? I don't hear Banshee around. What? Darwin knows how to adapt. Suck on this. And when you're dealing with time travel and mutations and this, that, and the other, you gotta leave your brain at the door. Do not try to figure out the concepts behind this. Don't even ask yourself how Professor X is back, because in X-Men 3, he supposedly died, and we know that he somehow got reincarnated to somebody else, but they never really explain it. And if you're looking for an explanation for that, no, there's a simple explanation for that. Apparently, Gosei wrote some script in this thing. And I know it's silly, but there's definitely a storyline about this movie that I know made sense for the movie, but it kind of, to me, felt like a just say no to drugs campaign. It was like all the way down to showing the close-up of the drug being dismissed. I was just like, all right, guys, we get it. It's not the 80s yet, it's the 70s. Nancy Reagan ain't around talking to Gary Coleman yet. And now for the nerdy. It's an X-Men movie, duh. Stay to the end, you get that little end credit. It's a little short teaser of what to expect next, but you want to stick around for that. And there is a part of this movie that made me laugh. All I'm gonna say is it involves the X-Men and a 1970s black sitcom. And you never would have thought those would be two things said in the same sentence. I didn't know that all the people trying to kill mutants were just fish-eyed fools. Don't try to stop mutants, you big dummy. I'll take Magneto back to El Segundo. This is the big one, Jean Grey. I'm coming to join you, honey. This is definitely one of my favorite X-Men movies. This was such a good movie. It was so fun. It was so enjoyable. It's never like, ho hum, being a superhero is terrible. These mutants have their power, they show off their power. Magneto's all like, we're the superior race, we should just do our powers all the time. I love this. These are the types of movies that if I was younger, who am I kidding right now? I'd be like, I want to be a superhero. I want to run fast like Quicksilver. I want to pick things up like Magneto. That's what I love. That's what I love about superhero films. When you come out of that thing being like, yeah, being a superhero is awesome. I'm tired of going to these superhero movies where they come out going, man, being a superhero sucks. It's not supposed to suck. You have special powers. You're better than me. I want to be you. Don't be trying to come out of my level. You stay on your level. Make me look up to you. This is a great movie. Enjoy it. Perfect summer movie. I love it. Go see it. You will have a blast. And I can't wait for the next one. But seriously, X-Men, stop blowing up black people. I mean, it's becoming a trend now. Just stop doing that, all right? No spoilers, but just stop blowing up black people. What did you guys think of X-Men Days of Future Past? And if you could go back to any part of your past and change something, what part of the past would you go back to and what would you change? Be sure to thumbs up this video. If you're new here, tickle that subscribe button. I make new nerdy videos all week, every week. And be sure to check out my last video. I find out which X-Men character I'm most like. The answer will surprise you. You big dummy. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Chain chomp yomp.